entitled Sister Asked Maine to Plan Her Wedding. I refused, so she made me serve drinks at her engagement party. While serving, I slipped her fiancé a note exposing her fake college degree. I 27F have an older sister named Sheila, who I absolutely despise. She is the reason I'm on Reddit today, seeking opinions on whether my decision was right or wrong. Sheila is the eldest in our family and was not a planned baby. Our parents had her while still in college, so she spent her first 2 years mostly with our grandparents. Our parents visited as much as they could while working hard to graduate. After graduating, they married, and Sheila finally lived with them. Perhaps due to this early separation, Sheila became extremely clingy, always wanting their attention. She enjoyed 3 years as the center of their world until my mother became pregnant with me. From the moment I was born, Sheila despised me. My earliest memories are of her pushing me away or pulling my hair until I cried. Our parents consoled me, saying this was normal sibling behavior, and that older siblings take time to adjust. But Sheila never changed. In fact, she became worse. She would scream at me whenever I tried to talk to her, lock me out to prevent me from going to our parents, and even resort to physical violence. As a child, I didn't recognize these as major issues since my parents never made a big deal out of them. I always hoped my big sister would eventually warm up to me. A turning point came one afternoon when she asked me to play ball. Instead of playing fairly, she repeatedly threw the ball at my face, despite my pleas to stop. Eventually, the ball hit me hard, causing my nose to bleed. She made me lie to our parents about it, but thankfully, our dad had installed CCTV around the house. When he checked the footage, he saw everything. Despite this, my mom tried to downplay it, hoping Sheila would change. Instead, Sheila's bullying escalated. Sheila's bullying continued throughout my childhood. She slammed car doors on my fingers, shoved me in school hallways, and humiliated me in front of my friends. Despite my mother's attempts at gentle parenting, Sheila never changed. One time, I convinced my parents to throw me an anime-themed birthday party. To Sheila's surprise, it was a huge success. For once, I enjoyed being the center of attention without Sheila trying to steal my thunder. As I grew older, I became more confident and stood up to Sheila's bullying. I called her out on her behavior and made sure our father knew about it. Unlike our mother, our father held Sheila accountable for her actions. She hated me even more, but she learned that I wouldn't back down. When Sheila graduated high school, she refused to go to college, opting instead for a gap year, which turned into several years of aimless traveling funded by our parents. Eventually, our father cut her off financially, hoping she would find direction. Instead, she drifted through volunteer work and complained about her difficult life without making any real changes. In contrast, I excelled in my studies, earning acceptance to my dream university with a partial scholarship. My parents were proud of me, but Sheila felt it was a slight against her. She sulked at my celebration party, drinking excessively and causing a scene. Our grandfather had to scold her for her behavior. After I moved to college, Sheila's life continued to spiral. She had a car accident while driving drunk, leading our father to kick her out of the house. She tried to manipulate me into giving her money, which she squandered on partying. Despite this, I cut ties with her. 3 years later, Sheila contacted me out of the blue, excitedly sharing news about her new boyfriend, Jack. She invited me to dinner to meet him, and despite my reservations, I attended. During the dinner, Jack praised Sheila for her supposed intelligence and her fake Berkeley degree. It was clear Sheila had lied to him about her education. After the dinner, Sheila begged us not to tell Jack the truth. Our father discovered she had forged college documents to get a job. Despite our pleas for her to come clean, she refused, insisting she could handle it. 3 months later, Sheila announced her engagement to Jack. She demanded I plan her wedding, despite excluding me from the bridal party. I refused, explaining that I was too busy with my final year of college. Sheila threw a fit, trying to get our parents to pressure me into agreeing. They supported my decision, understanding that I couldn't take on such a huge responsibility. So Reddit, am I right to refuse her demand? Would you help a sister like Sheila, who has done nothing for me but expects everything in return? Update 1: I was overwhelmed by the supportive responses and shared experiences from others with toxic family members. Many advised me to tell Jack the truth about Sheila. I plan to do so the next time I see him. Update 2: I wanted to share the aftermath of my decision to not help Sheila with her wedding planning and the subsequent events that unfolded. After I ignored Sheila's messages and our parents chose to stay out of the conflict, Sheila eventually backed off, or so I thought. Several weeks later, Sheila invited our family to her engagement party. Despite the tension between us, I decided to attend, hoping to support her in a way that felt manageable for me. The party was at a fancy venue, and Jack seemed genuinely happy and excited about their upcoming wedding. As I mingled with the guests and tried to enjoy the evening, Sheila approached me with a tray of drinks, ordering me to serve them to the guests. Her tone and manner were demeaning, making it clear she wanted to humiliate me. Angry and hurt, I decided to comply, but with a plan forming in my mind. As I served drinks, I wrote a note on a napkin, detailing the truth about Sheila's fake college degree and other significant lies she had told Jack. I slipped the note into Jack's hand discreetly, hoping he would read it later and confront Sheila. The next day, Jack called me, asking to meet up. When we met, he was visibly upset but thanked me for telling him the truth. He told me he had confronted Sheila, and she had initially denied everything but eventually broke down and admitted to the lies. Jack was devastated and needed time to think about their relationship. He expressed his gratitude to me for having the courage to inform him and left, looking heartbroken. Weeks passed, and I heard little from Sheila. Eventually, I received a call from her. She was furious, accusing me of ruining her relationship and her life. She screamed at me, calling me names and blaming me for everything that had gone wrong. I calmly reminded her that she had made her own choices and that honesty was crucial in any relationship. I hung up the phone, feeling a mix of relief and sadness. Our parents were disappointed in Sheila but supported my decision to tell Jack the truth. They believed that honesty was essential and Sheila needed to face the consequences of her actions. Sheila's engagement was called off, and she moved back home temporarily, trying to figure out her next steps. Despite the turmoil, I feel a sense of relief. I know I did the right thing by exposing the truth, even though it was difficult. Sheila and I may never have a close relationship, but I hope she learns from this experience and makes better choices in the future. As for me, I am focusing on my studies, my friends, and my future, knowing that I stood up for what was right. Thank you, Reddit, for all your support and encouragement. Your messages and comments have given me the strength to face this challenging situation and make the best decision for myself and for Jack. I appreciate every one of you who took the time to share your thoughts and experiences. Update 3. It's been a couple of months since the engagement party debacle, and life has continued to unfold in unexpected ways. I want to share what has happened since then, as the aftermath of my decision has led to further significant events. After Sheila moved back home, she was a mess. Our parents did their best to support her while also setting boundaries to ensure she faced the consequences of her actions. Sheila and I barely spoke, our relationship strained beyond repair. Despite everything, I still cared about her and hoped she would take this time to reflect and grow. One evening, our parents organized a family dinner, hoping to mend some of the fractures between Sheila and me. It was an awkward meal, filled with tense silences and forced small talk. Halfway through, Sheila broke down in tears, apologizing for how she had treated me and admitting that she had been wrong. She said she was scared of losing Jack and desperate to keep up appearances, which led her to act out of desperation and fear. Her apology was genuine, and although it didn't erase the hurt, it was a step toward healing. I accepted her apology, and we decided to take things one step at a time, rebuilding our relationship slowly. It wasn't going to be easy, but at least we were starting to move in the right direction. A few weeks later, I received a surprising call from Jack. He wanted to meet up again, but this time he had something important to discuss. We met at a local coffee shop, and he looked more composed than the last time we had seen each other. Jack thanked me again for telling him the truth and revealed that he had decided to give Sheila another chance. He explained that after their breakup, Sheila had been attending therapy and working hard to change. He saw her efforts and believed she deserved another chance to prove herself. This news was both surprising and somewhat reassuring. Jack's willingness to forgive and work on their relationship showed me that people can change and that honesty, while painful, can lead to growth. He mentioned that they were taking things slowly, not rushing back into an engagement, but focusing on rebuilding their trust and relationship. As for me, life has been moving forward. My studies are going well, and I'm feeling more confident about my future. The whole ordeal with Sheila has taught me a lot about family, honesty, and boundaries. It's been a difficult journey, but I've learned to stand up for myself and to value the importance of truth in all relationships. Sheila and I are working on our relationship. We've had a few heartfelt conversations where we both expressed our feelings and started to understand each other better. While we still have a long way to go, these steps toward reconciliation are promising. Our parents are relieved to see us making an effort and are supportive of our attempts to rebuild our bond. Looking back, I realized that my decision to tell Jack the truth was the right one. It set off a chain of events that forced everyone involved to confront reality and make necessary changes. While it was painful and challenging, it ultimately led to growth and healing for all of us. Thank you again, Reddit, for your unwavering support and encouragement. Your insights and advice have been invaluable, and I appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to share your thoughts. This community has been a source of strength for me, and I'm grateful for all the support you've given me throughout this journey.